Hey guys, welcome to Nathan and Sam's Fishing Show, and today I'm going to make a quick little video on the top 5 bass fishing baits in summer. But before we get into that, I just want to say I bought a GoPro now, so we're going to have better video quality, a wider angle lens, and I'm also going to be using better editing software. So there's going to be better quality on the video, so let's get into the tips. Alright, bait number 5 is a chatterbait or a spinnerbait. I prefer chatterbaits over spinnerbaits most of the time. But the thing that's great about chatterbaits is you can pull them through weeds a lot easier. This blade here will cut through weeds a lot easier than a spinnerbait will. And you really want to match the hatch with your color, as most baits you do. Darker green for bluegill. This is one of my favorite summer baits. It's kind of a brown orange. It looks like a bluegill. And those will be great around sparse weeds or wood. And spinnerbaits is the other bait. And these are great around wood. To bump these into wood, it's probably the ultimate power fishing bait. It's one of the oldest. And this is a Strike King KVD spinnerbait in the bluegill color. And this has an Indiana blade on it. Depending on the water clarity, I'll either do a willow blade for super clear water, or an Indiana or a Colorado for muddier water, because the Colorado blades, they have a lot more vibration. And with these two, you want to match the hatch. If they're shad, you want to have like a white or a shad colored one. And this actually has a painted blade. That can work a lot better in the clear water. So that's bait number 5. Bait number 4 in this list are topwaters. Frogs are my favorite topwater. Anywhere there's weeds, you can find me frogging. I love to frog. It's not something I do all the time, but lily pads, I love to frog. Weeds, I just walk the frog across the weeds. That's a great one. Now another one I don't throw too much, but is a real great bait, are like the spook type baits. This is a Zara puppy, and this is kind of in a baby bass color. Don't throw them too much, but they are a great bait in open water. And of course a buzzbait. You know, buzzbaits just seem to catch so many big fish along with frogs, but they're just so great right when it's getting dusk. But most topwaters work great right when it's getting dusk, maybe even a little after dark. And topwaters are just a great bait for summer. Alright, bait number 3 on my list are soft plastics. I'm going to group them all together. So many different types of soft plastics. They're all great. But a few of my favorite for summer are swim baits, of course, the almighty Senko, and this is another favorite of mine, the Lake Fork Trophy Lures Ring Fry. And I'm going to talk about the swim bait first. Great to fish around weeds. You can really fish swim baits anywhere. And the way I rig that, I do it 2 ways. Either I'll Texas rig them with a bullet weight. This is a 3/8 ounce bullet weight. Or I will use a belly weighted hook. This is a 5/0 hook. And swim baits are great. Now, for the ring fry, Texas rig or Carolina rig usually. I don't throw Carolina rigs too much, but that's a great way to rig this. Now, of course, Senkos, okay? I either wacky rig Senkos, which, if you don't know, you just put it on I usually use a drop shot hook, but in this instance, I put it on a hook. You put it on a hook like that, use a wacky tool to put wacky bands on it. I prefer weightless rigging my Senkos in the Texas rig style, where you just put it on the hook like that. And a few other baits. I love to throw beavers. I'll talk about those later in this video. And I love to throw all types of baits. These are just kind of my favorite plastics. So next you'll see number 2. Alright, bait number 2 in this list, gotta be crankbaits. Crankbaits are one of the best summer baits, especially when you're going deep. Finding fish on ledges. This is a Strike King 6XD, dives about 19 feet, and it's just a great way to catch bass on ledges, where most of the bass are on the ledges in the summer. And this bait really just gets down to them. It's not the only thing I'll throw on ledges, but it's a great bait. I also throw Strike King 5XDs. Drives about 15 feet, depending on how deep I'm fishing. And then maybe I'm going more shallow and I'm fishing the points and the coves, and this is a Strike King Series 4, which dives about 8 feet, and you can tell most of these are shad colored. I fish a lot of shad lakes, but also crawfish. A lot of lakes around here have crawfish. This is a square bill, so I'm going to be fishing this crankbait probably 2 to 4 foot of water. This is when you go shallow. Not the best thing at all the time, but there's definitely great times to throw it. And another thing that there's great times to throw are flat-sided crankbaits. As you can see, they have no rattle in there. That's just the split rings rattling, if you can hear that. They have no rattle, they're silent, they have a little bit tighter wobble. Usually clearer water you're going to want to throw this, or cold water. But sometimes you just got to throw one of these to get them to bite. So pick up your crankbait box, throw one for 10 minutes, switch it up. Keep switching it up until you find what they prefer, and then you'll be on some good fish. And bait number 1 for summer is a jig. Now, this will differ for a lot of people, but me, I'm a flipping guy. I've been flipping and pitching. That's what I do most of the year. And jigs, they're just great. Also, along with jigs, beavers, or other pitching baits like that, Texas rig beaver is what I've been throwing almost all the time. Not really, but a lot of the time, because you can get it down in weeds, and it's very weedless. You can get that down in the weeds, and the bass will hold on to it a lot longer than they will a jig because it's soft plastic. It feels like a fish. But when it comes to jigs, I love all types of jigs. Like flipping jigs, they're just one of my favorite. But swim jigs, they're also one of my favorite. This is a Strike King swim jig. And once again, match the hatch. Like if you're fishing a shad lake and you're throwing swim jigs, take a white swim jig, put a boot tail swim bait on it. That's going to look just like a shad. Say you're fishing for bluegill, or in a bluegill lake, this one looks just like a bluegill. But all lakes have craws in them around here. And a crawfish style jig is the most common and definitely my favorite. And just a flipping jig like this, 3/8 ounce flipping jig with like a Yum Craw Pappy on it, it's one of the best. Green, for the midsummers, the crawfish are usually green, brown, black and blue if you're in muddy water. But jigs are just one of my favorite things to do. I flip and pitch all day, and it's just what I'm used to. So I hope you guys learned stuff from this video, and next time you go out fishing, you're going to catch more fish. So thanks for watching, guys. Tell us what you think of the new camera in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys, and please like and subscribe for more content to come.